Hey there, yogis. My name is Lorelai. Welcome to Namasturm Yoga, and this is going to be a live stream yoga practice. It is Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time when I am recording this practice, but if you're seeing it at another time, well, welcome to you as well. We're going to get started seated today, so go ahead and unroll your mat, get on your, yoga pants, whatever you need, and come to an easy cross-legged position. So starting from Sukhasana, easy seat, just bring your hands to your knees, set up your shoulders so that they're right up over your hips. Let your head float up on top of the neck, long back of the neck, nice and easy here. Close your eyes and just come to a simple seat. As you're doing this, just a quick reminder that although this class is on YouTube and is absolutely free for you to join, if you would like to make a donation to support the continuation of this practice, let's just say, the way to do that is in the description for this video, but not any surprise, we've got PayPal, we've got Venmo. My Venmo username is my channel name, Namasturm. So if you are interested in sending me $1 or $2, that would be lovely. I will know that this class is of value to you. But let's just sit for a moment now so we can kind of prep ourselves for the practice. So easy seat, crossed legs, long back of the neck, eyes closed, hands on knees. Let's just tune into our breath. Feel your mind start to slow down with your body, which has come to stillness. Staying right here for a moment, let's transition to our Ujjayi breathing practice. Gentle narrowing of the back of the throat. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose with the lips softly together. Try to steady out the rhythm of your breath. We're going to begin to move to our breath just from a seat here. So with hands on the knees, on your next inhale, move your heart forward, tilt your head up towards the ceiling, and then as you exhale, go the other way, tuck your chin, round the back, round the shoulders. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, contract. We're mirroring, or I guess I would say like exaggerating what's happening in the body as we breathe. So as we inhale, we expand, we lift up, we rise, we open. As we exhale, we close, we contract, we round, we fold, we deepen. So that's kind of what the lungs do, right? As we inhale, the lungs expand and we rise. If we were floating in water, we would actually rise up out of the water because we would be full of air, making us lighter. And then as we exhale, as the lungs release the air, we do contract and we can sink and fold and like pull into ourselves a little more. So we're just trying to mirror that here with the body. We're also warming up the spine, the neck, checking in to see how things feel at this point. And then coming back to center on an inhale, reach the arms out and up, interlace your fingers, press your palms towards the ceiling, lengthen out the arms. See if you can keep the shoulders a little soft and away from the ears, and then maybe tilt the chin down to the chest, and then lift the head up and maybe let it go back. Again, you can connect to the breath. Exhale, chin down. Inhale, head up. One more time. And then taking the left hand over to the right knee, simple twist over the right shoulder, turning the spine. This will be an intermediate level practice. As we warm up here, anybody can do this. So if you're a beginner or you're newer to yoga, feel free to follow along to the point where you're getting challenged, and then you can either ease up or say, hey, that's enough for me. Any of those are fine. At home, you have a lot of options. No one's going to look at you funny if you leave the class early. Let's twist the other way. So right hand to the left knee, turn over your left shoulder. But I do like to warm up slowly just to kind of get the body, I don't know, reawakened. It's probably been awake all day, but if you're like me and you had to work at a desk for a lot of the day, it might just need to be like, ooh, that's right, I have those muscles there. Come on back to center, and then let's uncross the legs and come to a squat. So we're going to turn the toes a little bit out and have the feet about hip distance apart, and then come off of the hips. Now, for some people, squatting is, like, for me, it's not very hard. I used to do this all the time as a kid. I think it has a lot to do with my joints, with my, like just the way I'm physiologically constructed. If you have a harder time squatting, you might find yourself up on your toes, and that is okay. If you feel like this is hard on your knees, we're not going to be here terribly long. It actually can ultimately be good for hips, knees, ankles, all these joints that we're bending, but we don't want to experience pain while doing it. So if you are in pain, find an alternative. You could actually just keep your sit bones on the ground and hug your knees into your chest. Press your palms if you're able here. Move the sternum forward towards your thumbs. And then fingertips to the ground. Let's straighten the legs and come to a forward fold. Now, if you're like me, your toes are still turned out a little. Turn them back so that the feet are parallel with each other. Keep the knees soft. So sometimes when we straighten up the legs, all of a sudden the back gets really rounded and we can't fold. Whereas if we soften the knees, all of a sudden we can let go more fully. So let the knees soften so that you can allow yourself to dangle from tailbone to head here. And if your hands hit the ground, you might choose to grab opposite elbows, loosen up the back of the neck, nodding and shaking the head a little bit. And then we're going to roll up and down a few times. So release the elbows if you've got them. Bend the knees a little more. Roll on up to standing, nice and easy. And when you get to the top, reach the arms up. Grab the right wrist with the left hand and pull over to the side for a little side stretch here. You can shoot your right hip to the right as you stretch to the left. And then coming up, exhale, swan dive down forward over the legs. Bend the knees at the bottom. Inhale, come on up, and let's side stretch the other way. So now grab the left wrist with the right hand, stretching over to the right. The left hip can move to the left. Take a couple breaths here. And then inhale back up. Exhale, dive down. Now following the breath here, bend the knees at the bottom. Inhale up. We're going to side stretch to the one direction. Doesn't really matter which direction you go first. Come back up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, roll up. And then go the other direction. So just make sure you're changing directions. One more time each side. Follow your breath. Now the next time you find yourself in a forward fold, after having gone both directions the same amount of times, come to the top of your mat if you're not already there, and let's step the right foot back, coming to a runner's lunge, front knee over ankle, on the ball of the back foot, stretch out the back leg, and then plant the right palm inside the left foot, left arm up, easy twist here. And let's just do a little bit of back and forth. So we're going to lift to the twist, and then we're going to go ahead and come down and kind of like you're going to scoop the left hand under the right arm, twist under. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, scoop under. Inhale, lift. Exhale, scoop. And up. And then hands both to the mat. Let's step to plank pose. Shoulders over wrists, feet next to each other. Well, they're not really next to each other, but they're lined up with each other. Strong core here. Back of the neck stays long. And then lower your knees. Bend the elbows to lower your chest. Elbows by the sides of the body, shoulder blades on the back. Lift up cobra pose. Take a couple breaths here. In cobra, the legs are down. So instead of, like sometimes people tend to want to kind of get up higher with the hips and the legs, and we lose the back bend if we do that, right? So if it means your elbows need to be more bent, that's fine, but keep the low body on the ground, and then just lift the chest using the muscles of the upper back and supporting with the hands and arms. And then let's drop back to child's pose. So keep your knees on the mat and wide. Feet can come together, hips to heels, forehead to the floor. And then coming up, tuck the toes, use the hands, and let's move back to a squat once again. And then here from the back of the mat now, straighten up the legs, come to forward fold, roll all the way up to standing. And we're just gonna step walk to the top of the mat, exhale, forward fold. Now keeping the left foot forward, we'll step the right foot back and coming to our lunge on the other side. Left knee over ankle, reach through that back heel. Plant the right palm, left arm up. Wait a second, we did this other side. We gotta switch sides, sorry, my bad. So we stepped the right foot back last time, sorry. So let's step the left foot back, coming to the other side. You probably already knew. All right, and then this time should be right foot forward, then the left hand plants right arm up now. You'll know if you're twisting the other way from when you did this one before. And then we're just gonna lift, inhale, exhale, like a little curl under, almost like you're gonna thread the needle with that right arm under the left. Inhale up, and exhale, curl. And inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And inhale up again, easy twist, plant the palms, you're in plank. Woohoo, let's hold for another few breaths here. Strong through the center of the body. Awesome, lower knees down, bend the elbows, lower heart down. Inhale, cobra, or if you want to come to up dog. Now in up dog, the hips and the legs are off the floor, but so are the lower legs and knees. So you're just on the very tops of the feet, and the hips are dropping down. So there's not a lot of space between the mat and my legs, but we're still in a back bend. Arms are going to be straighter to do this. And then roll over the feet, lift the hips, heart back. Downward facing dog. Okay, this is the first down dog of the day for me, maybe for you too. So warm it up. Bend one knee, let the opposite leg straighten. Switch to the other side. With the fingers spread, root into the hands. Let the head hang down nice and heavy. Breathe here. And then walk the feet to the top of the mat. Big toes touch now, heels slightly apart. Fingers to shins, lift halfway, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana, and then root down with the feet, reverse swan dive, rise up, and palms together. And let's just flow right into some sun salutation A's here. Like we've done all of the poses that go in already. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step to plank. Lower, you can take chaturanga, or maybe you want knees to come to the floor again. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe. Lift the hips, heart back.
I feel like sun A's are kind of the foundation of most vinyasa practices, which this is a vinyasa class. We use the vinyasa sequence, which is the middle of the sun A, to kind of transition from the front of the mat to the back of the mat, from one side to the other side, from sequence to sequence. And we use the form of this as almost like an outline, and we can throw in a lot of new poses and create some different dynamic extensions, but I feel like this is the heart, this sun A. So we're gonna do a few of these. When you're ready, inhale, look forward, exhale, step, walk, or hop forward. Take your half lift, fold down deep, and then reverse your swan dive, come on up, and let's just keep flowing. We'll do this for a couple of minutes here, just to get the body going, connecting to the breath. Follow your own pace. When you get to down dog, you can just hold there one breath if you want to, but if you like to hold for the full 5, please feel free to do so. It's up to you. It is your practice after all. I am here to guide you, but you can do whatever you want. All right, let's meet in down dog. So the next time you arrive, just let your body hold. Take your time though. And then taking the right leg into the air, open the hip and bend the knee. Nice open hip down dog split variation here. Shoulders level. Bring your knee to your chest, shoulders glide forward over the wrists, hug the leg to your body, nice and strong. And then inhale, press back to down dog split. Exhale, step the right foot forward. We're gonna just take a low lunge here. So take your back knee down, extend your toes behind you. Come on up, upper body up, hips sink forward toward the front heel. Now, taking a deep twist to the right, so you can use your right hand on your thigh to help you get that left arm all the way over if you want to, but the elbow should be like outside the knee, and then press the palms to turn the torso. Now, tuck your back toes, float that back knee off the ground. High lunge, deep twist. Okay, now looking down to your right foot, step the left foot up to the top of the mat to join it. Feet together, knees side by side. And then shifting to chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight on your heels, navel in, tail down, so we're sitting straight down into this zigzag shape. And exhale, Uttanasana, straighten the legs. Inhale, Ardha. Move through Vinyasa to get back to down dog. And we'll do the second side. Left leg up, open the hip, bend the knee, point the knee to the sky, drop the heel to the hip. Knee to chest, shoulders come forward over the wrists. Inhale, down dog split. And exhale, step the left foot forward. Low lunge on the other side. So the right knee's gonna come down. I didn't mention this on the first side, but if the knee doesn't like being on the ground, you can fold the side edge of your mat, doubling it up to put underneath that knee. Or you could put a towel underneath it or something like that, a blanket, just to give you a little extra padding if you need it. The more you sink your hips forward, the less you'll be on the kneecap, so that's also something to think about too. All right, now we're gonna twist to the left, so right arm outside of the left knee, and then press palms to turn the heart. Tuck the back toes, float that back knee off the ground. It's not so much lifting as straightening the leg, and the leg will just, or the knee will naturally come up. Look down to the left foot, step that right foot up to join it. Feet together, knees side by side. Knees still bent, hips low. And chair, Utkatasana. You should feel your quads working here. That's what's holding you up in this pose. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha. And here's a vinyasa to get you back to down dog. Inhale, take the right leg up. One breath, straight leg. Exhale, step the foot forward, warrior one. So turn the back toes out, pivot the back heel down. Come on up. Try to get those hips squared forward towards the front edge of the mat as you bend deeply into your front knee and root into the outer edge of the back foot. Arms go up alongside the ears. If you want, you can bring palms together, look up to your lifted thumbs. From here, arms out. We're gonna move to eagle pose, Garudasana. So we're gonna start with the arms. Left arm crosses under the right, lift the elbows. Now standing onto the right foot, keep the right knee bent, pick up the left leg and cross the left thigh over the right, winding the limbs as you lift the elbows and sink the hips. And then voila, we can just go right back into chair pose. That right knee's already bent. Uncross the left leg, unwind the arms, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And take a vinyasa to get back to down dog. Side two, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bring it forward. Right heel pivots down. Come on up and align your warrior one here on the left. Maybe palms come together and you look to your lifted thumbs. Lunge deeply. Okay, arms out. Now the right arm's going to go under the left to lift the elbows. And then the right leg will go over the left leg. So transfer your weight to the left and step the right foot forward. Do your best to balance here. I know the transition is sometimes the trickiest part. You know, do the best you can because building the transitions can really make our practice strong and build our overall flexibility, stability that we'll use in life. From eagle here at the top of the mat, drop right into chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. And then vinyasa, we're gonna take a sun salutation B here. So we're just gonna go one breath per movement into warrior one on both sides. From down dog, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Warrior one. High to low plank, follow your breath. Left side when you're ready. And then take a vinyasa. We're gonna do one more full cycle of Sun B. So when you get back to down dog, just take one inhale here. Exhale, step, walk, or hop forward. Ardha Uttanasana as you inhale, Uttanasana as you exhale. Bend the knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. And then right back into forward fold, half lift, and vinyasa. So one breath per movement. We're gonna do both sides. Same thing, and we'll meet in down dog after this sequence. Once you arrive in down dog, just let yourself breathe. Smooth and steady. Stay with your ujjayi, stay with your rhythm. And then inhale, look forward. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet forward. Half lift, fold. Bend the knees, again, Utkatasana. And then we're gonna go ahead and stand on the right foot, pick up the left foot and cross the ankle onto the thigh as you bring palms together in front of the heart. So if we were going into eagle, the legs would be more fully wound. Here it's just kind of like resting. The shin is resting on the top of that right thigh. Sink the hips down, keep the chest lifted. Finding a bit of balance here. Now, keeping your balance, keeping your right knee deeply bent, start to fold your chest towards your left shin. You should feel a bit of a stretch here in that left hip or glute area. And then from here, we're gonna transition to a standing split. So we're gonna let the fingertips come to the ground ahead of us. And then as you straighten the right leg, the left leg is gonna kind of fall off, clear it, and then reach it up and back. Fold your body to your right leg. Now bend that front knee to help you step back long to warrior one. Toes down, heel down. Inhale up. Exhale, opening to warrior two. So adjust your back foot so now the back arch lines up with the front heel. The toes are going to be more open as we open the hips to face the side. But the front knee stays directly over that front ankle and the front toes are still pointing forward. Shoulders are right above hips, arms at shoulder height. And then just turn your gaze to look over your right fingertips. And reverse the warrior, stretching up and back, but continuing to lunge forward. And then cartwheel hands down to the mat, flow through a vinyasa to return to down dog. P.S. You can skip the vinyasas at any point if you need to. They're optional. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet forward. Half lift. Fold, Uttanasana. Bend the knees for Utkatasana. We're in chair again. We're going to do the other side. So this time standing on the left foot, pick up the right foot, cross the ankle onto the thigh, bring palms together in front of the heart. This is kind of a figure four shape with the legs. It's a balance pose. Obviously, we're not quite wound with the legs like eagle, but it has similar aspects. All right, keep that left knee bent. Begin to fold your chest. Resist the urge to bring your fingers to the ground. I know that's tempting when all of a sudden you can see and look at the ground, and it might just be within reach. We'll get them there in just a moment. Okay, So now is the moment. Standing split. Fingertips come to the ground. As the left leg straightens, the right leg is going to release and then reach up and back, fold your body. Yes. All right. And then bending the front knee to help you step back all the way long. Inhale, warrior one, and then exhale, open to that warrior two on the second side. Adjust alignment here. So this first couple of breaths, feet, front knee over ankle, hips, shoulders over hips, arms. I like to think as opposed to arms coming up where they feel heavy, what if arms come down to shoulder height and then they just rest? Look over the left fingertips. Reverse your warrior, stretching up and back. And cartwheel hands to the mat. Here's our vinyasa. Breathing in down dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet forward. Half lift, fold. Bend the knees for Utkatasana, and then straighten the legs and come to standing. And we're gonna step out wide for Prasarita Padottanasana. You can face whichever edge of your mat you prefer. I will face you, but whatever makes the most sense. We're gonna go into some standing poses, so we're gonna first start to the right. So if that helps you decide which way you wanna face, that's fine. Hands to hips, lift the quads, and then folding down. Once you get to about halfway, here the back should be really long, but then you get halfway, maybe the fingertips start to come to the floor, and then you can kind of let go a little more. Your back might round somewhat. Fingers between toes, fingers lined up with toes is great, or palms. If the palms are flat, they line up with the feet and then the elbows stack right above the wrists. Shift your weight forward toward the balls of the feet, let the head hang down heavy. Those of you with head on the floor, if you can form a tripod with your hands and head, or triangle really, you might choose to float the legs up into the air. I'm not going to do that tonight. My back's bothering me a little. I don't want to push it. But if that's you and you feel safe, you can always try that. And then if your feet are up, you'll want to float them down. But then once your feet are on the floor, grounded, bring the hands back to the waist and come on up to stand. Let's turn the right toes open. So we're just gonna pivot on that front heel so the front heel lines up with the back arch. Turn the back toes slightly towards the front, arms out, and then shifting into triangle pose, Trikonasana, keeping the sides of the body long. And I kind of just like to really reach as far as I can with that right hand. Get the sides of the torso long, and then when I'm kind of to my max, just adjust the arms. Now they're vertical, look towards your top thumb. Inhale, come on up, stretch back. We're gonna float into a half moon pose. So you're gonna take all your weight to the right foot. You're gonna need to bend your knee to come to balance on it. Right fingers forward, off the mat, perhaps. Left arm up. Notice if your chest is facing the ground and your left shoulder is dropped out and then you try to put the arm up, it's like all of a sudden your shoulder's like out of the socket. So first I would suggest bring your left hand to your hip and try to move the shoulder to stack above the bottom shoulder so that the torso is kind of turned open, and then try to have the arm extending out from the shoulder kind of naturally as opposed to trying to get ahead of where the shoulder is. We're gonna step out of this and come to extended side angle. So bend the front knee and just keep it bent as you land your back foot, and then plunk your right forearm on the thigh and bring your left arm overhead alongside the ear. Now, we're gonna roll towards the floor and we're gonna plant the left palm inside the right foot. We're gonna come to side plank on the left, but really we gotta completely move the back foot around. So come to the ball of the back foot and then roll to the outer edge of the back foot. And then when you're ready, you can start to walk that right foot back to stack, top arm up, lift the hips. And then turn to the mat. You're in plank. Whatever side of the mat you're facing, it's fine, but you'll lower down and take a vinyasa. Breathing to rest briefly in down dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet. Half lift. Fold. And reverse your swan dive. Float back up. Okay, let's step out again. Second variation of Prasarita. This one we're gonna interlace fingers behind the back, pull the shoulder blades down your back, so hopefully the arms are really straight here, and then as you fold, the shoulders can get a nice stretch. If you can't get the hands together, you can use a towel or a strap, or if the hands are together but the elbows are bent and the shoulders are shoved forward, try the same thing. We want those shoulders on the back and the arms as long as you can get them. And then fold, you can reach the arms behind you, but keep your shoulder blades on your back. Relax your neck, your head's gonna just hang here. Lift the quads. Lean forward a little, heels should feel light. And then root down with the feet, strong through the core to come back up. Let's do our standing poses on the left. So turning the left toes to the left, turn the right toes a little to the left. Arms out. And then shifting, tucking in that left hip, moving in the direction of triangle. Keep the front leg straight. Get your body really long, and then get your arms really vertical. Look up to your lifted thumb. Okay, we're gonna move into half moon. Okay, maybe reach back. I can't remember if we did this on the other side, but reaching back and then bending the left knee. Step onto the left foot. Left fingers support you, but just for balance, the hand shouldn't be taking weight. Top arm up. If you notice that shoulder jutting forward ahead of the torso, see if you can turn the torso. That is the challenge of this pose, right? To have the torso facing the side rather than the floor. Push through the lifted heel. See if you can flex that foot hard. Now, bend your front knee to help you step back long and gracefully right into extended side. Left forearm on the thigh, top arm overhead. Ha ha, here we're in a diagonal. And then the right hand is gonna come down and we're gonna pivot all the way around onto the outer edge of the right foot so we can move the left foot back into side plank, and then the left arm is gonna go up into the air. Turn to the floor, you're in plank. Hey, vinyasa time. Take it or leave it, up to you. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet forward. Half lift, fold, and then let's reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. Palms together in front of the heart. I want to do a little handstand practice today. So first of all, if you have a wall nearby and you want to practice kicking up to the wall, that's what I'm going to be working with today. But if that's not accessible to you, what you can do instead is just bring your hands to your mat, Bring the shoulders forward over the wrists. Push down. So we don't want to collapse into the shoulders. We want to lift up out of the shoulders. Step one foot in, a little closer. Take one foot up. And then your job is to just take some teeny tiny hops off of that bottom foot. You're not trying to get to a handstand. You definitely don't want to flip yourself over. You're just practicing the lift. Push down, lift up out of the arms. Left one leg up, one leg down, little tiny hops here. Just practice that top leg being the swing leg and the bottom leg being the spring leg. The bottom leg isn't trying to get into the air. The bottom leg is trying to get the hips up higher. So the same thing we're doing if we're against the wall, but we can use a little more momentum because we have that wall behind us. If we do kick with more momentum, our top heel is going to hit the wall and prevent us from falling completely over. And then the second leg can come up. But really, the job of that bottom leg is not to push itself into the air. It's to get the hips up over the shoulders. So if we try to get the second leg up before the hips are over the shoulders, both legs are going to come crashing back to the floor. What keeps the body vertical and upright is having the hips up over the shoulders. So thinking of it that way, we can set ourselves up and some distance away from the wall, I recommend. Plant your palms. It's the same thing though. You're going to see the most beautiful angle of me. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so take one leg up. And then the bottom leg is the spring leg. This bottom leg is trying to get my hips over my shoulders. It's not trying to get itself in the air. The top leg's in the air. It's just reaching for the wall, right? Once the hips get up, then I have a better chance of that second leg following up. And then you can just hold at the wall, practice being upside down for a little while. You can practice your balance if you like. But just give it a try. You don't want to see like the back of your body hitting the wall. Again, you don't want to avoid collapsing down into your shoulders. So really straight and strong arms are important. And lifting up and away, pushing down with the arms to lift up and away. Take another few seconds to practice this one. We don't need to spend forever here, but just a little inversion practice tonight. I'm going to give one more run at it, so take your time here. Try to imagine your body being in the same shape as if it were standing on the ground. So we're trying to hug in the core and get tall and long and vertical. Okay. And then when that's done, go ahead and come to a squat again. So turn the toes out. I want to release the wrist, but I want to take an arm balance. And I feel like we got to do the arm balance before we release the wrist, or, counterproductive. You can stay in a squat here if this feels good to you. But if you're up for a little arm balance today, bringing the upper arms under the shins, planting the palms. And here I will say it over and over again. We have to move the center of gravity over the wrists. That's the only way we're going to get up. We can't get up from jumping here because we're just going to fall back down. Our center of gravity is way back, way behind the wrists. If we want the wrists to hold us, we have to bring everything forward over the wrists first. And then when we no longer need the feet, that's when they can come up. Okay, so play if you like. We'll just take a short bit of time here to do that. And I think last week we may have played with crow in and out of tripod headstand. Of course, you can play with that if that sounds fun and applicable to you and your practice tonight. But at some point when you feel, okay, I've done the inversion practice, I've done the arm balance practice, I'm ready to release my wrists, come to Padahastasana. Slide your hands under your feet one at a time until the toes reach the wrists. Wiggle those toes into the wrists. Give them a little massage. Knees can still be soft, but if you're feeling like you're warm and the hamstrings can open a little more than maybe at the beginning of class, you can start to straighten the backs of the legs. Okay, taking the hands out from underneath the feet. We're gonna go here, I'm gonna give you a little challenge here. From Padahastasana, let's go into Padangustasana. So grab the big toes with the first 2 fingers of each hand, wrapping between this big first and second toe, and then underneath. Pull and pull up and away, reach your head away from the tail. And then to bend deeper into it, bend your elbows, pull your body down. Okay, so here comes the challenge part of it. We weren't there yet. Bend the knees, hang on to your toes, bend the knees, see if you can. Let the sit bones come to the ground. Don't fall, don't hurt yourself, don't drop onto your tailbone and break it or anything like that. But if you can, lower the sit bones, hanging on to the feet. Pick them up, straighten the legs, keep the heart lifted here. And then take the legs out nice and wide. Still balancing on sit bones. Notice if you tend to roll all the way back to your tailbone. Really, we don't want to be all the way back. The very tip of the tailbone is going to be on the mat, right? That's unavoidable. But like where your low back is beginning, we want to keep that off the ground if possible. And then bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. And now let's take Baddha Konasana. Folding in, edges of the feet to the floor, knees go wide. And then I'm going to come up, bring the knees in, and we're going to drop the knees to the floor and come to camel pose, Ustrasana. So knees are down. This first one I'm going to do with tucked toes because I would like to reach my heels, but my heels are a little closer if the toes are tucked than if the foot is straight. We want to also tuck the tail so that we're not working with the hips way back because that's going to crunch the low back. We want to avoid crunching the low back. Instead, we want to focus on bending the upper back. So hands to the waist here can help support that. Hips stay over the knees. Chin can go in or head could go back, and then maybe the hands drop down to reach the heels. But if the hands drop down and you can't find the heels, immediately bring the hands back to your waist so the hands are supporting you, either at the waist or from the heels. Chin in or head back. And because the hands are anchored either at your waist or on the heels, you can move your shoulders deeper into your upper back and use that to open your heart for this back bend. And then support your waist. Come on up. Brief interlude. We're going to do one more. Extend your toes behind you. Sit back on the feet, and then with the hands behind you, maybe lean back and lift the knees, stretching the tops of the feet a little bit. Hey, if you're still with me at this point in practice, we're kind of getting to the wind down point. I'd love to know, if you join me next week, what poses would you like to see? If you can make a list in the comments of like, hey, I'd like to see this pose, triangle or, boat pose or whatever. And then I'll see if I can include as many as possible in our sequences next week. Go ahead and come back up to your knees, and then let's go ahead and come back to camel pose, Ustrasana. Also, leave in the comments, like if you're enjoying taking this full practice. I'd love to know if people just drop in and are like, oh yeah, it's yoga. Okay, I'm going to something else. That's a little different than if you're really staying for the class with me. I'd love to hear from you. I know some of you are, and welcome. Whether you're here live or not, welcome. Thanks so much for joining me so often. All right, and then support your waist. Again, come up. Head's gonna come up last. And let's go ahead and drop to, let's say, the left sit bone, and we're just gonna take a seated twist. So left sit bone down, cross that right leg all the way over, and then use your left arm around or past your knee to turn over your right shoulder. Nice seated twist here. Twists are always nice coming out of back bends. You can kind of relieve the spine a little bit.
And let's go the other way. Recross the legs, right under left, left steps over, and then you can use your right arm to twist left. All right. And then uncross. And I want to come back to down dog so we can set up for some pigeon stretch. I feel like that's like the reward. After you've been to a few yoga classes, like every yogi I know looks forward to pigeon stretch. Like, ooh, I'm warm. Ooh, that nice juicy hip opener stretch. I can just sink into that passively for a minute. Yes, take me to that. So that's where we're going now. Let's take the right leg up into the air, open the hip and bend the knee, and then bring that right knee forward behind the right wrist, shin across the mat. Use the left toes to walk the left leg back and on the top of the thigh. And here we go. Maybe I'm just projecting. Maybe I'm the only one that feels that way in a yoga class, but I can't imagine it's just me. This is the point where I'm like, oh, I've done so much. Now I get to reward myself with this beautiful stretch. My body's ready for it. I'm ready for a little calm and stillness. Just breathe here and let go as you fold. Okay, and then slowly come up, walk your hands in, lift your chest, and then let's take a stretch for the left quad. So supporting yourself with the right fingers, bend that left knee behind you, and gently draw the heel in towards your hip. Tons of variations optional here, so you could start to bring your right hand up and work towards balance. Some of you might be working towards mermaid pose, so listen to what your body would like for this stretch. We won't be here too long anyway. And let that one go. Hands to the mat. Returning to down dog, take a sec to shake out the right leg or kick through the heel. The end of class is also pretty beginner appropriate, so I mean, the middle wasn't terribly complicated today, but just a few challenges that I like to throw your way. Let's take the left leg up, open the hip and bend the knee, point the knee to the sky, shoulders level. It's been a while since I've taught like a truly advanced class. I feel like they're fun, but we don't really need them in terms of like, hey, what's like good for my body? I think advanced class is fun. Explore your potential. Bring your left knee forward here. Use the right toes to walk the right leg back. But truly, the simple, basic poses are the core of a strong yoga practice, and we can go a long way with them. So this is kind of my speed these days, and if it's yours, I hope you'll continue to join me. Let's go ahead and fold down and take our time in this lovely pigeon stretch here on side 2. Okay, Take your time coming up. Support yourself with the left fingers now so you can bend the right knee. Find your foot and draw the heel in. Left hand can support you here. Try to do the same thing as you did on the first side, right? Like just play symmetrical as best we can. All right, let that go. And return to down dog, shake out the left leg or kick through the heel. Just got a couple finishing poses left, so let's go ahead and walk the feet forward, come to a seat on your mat, and let's take Janu Shirshasana today. So single leg stretch on both sides. Let's take the right leg out. Sole of the left foot can come to the upper inner right thigh, or if you're feeling ambitious, you could come to the half lotus version. You know, just make sure your foot is truly tucked up into your hip crease and not just resting on your thigh, right? So it's a little different than that. The left knee should be dropping down, or just classic Janu Shirshasana with the whole left leg on the floor. And then we're folding to the right, flex the foot, engage the quad a little bit, sink in. And carefully using your hands to walk yourself back up. Come to a seat. Take that left leg out, and then we'll switch to the other leg. So sole of the right foot to the left upper inner thigh with the knee dropping down, or half lotus if you did that on the first side. Try to play fair. Flex your left foot and fold towards the leg. All right, and then come on up, nice and easy. Take the legs out, give them a little shake. Let's go ahead and come back to Sukhasana just for a moment here. And this way we can kind of take a second to check in from the same position that we started off in at the beginning of class. Bring your hands to your knees, stack your shoulders over the hips, let your head float. See if you notice any shifts. Maybe physically, maybe you're just feeling more sweaty, or maybe your hips are feeling a little looser, or maybe your back is feeling a little warmer, or maybe even, you know, mentally, energetically, emotionally, like, are you feeling calmer, more energized? I don't know, like there's not a right or wrong here. It's just checking in. See how you're feeling. Well, I'm hoping you enjoyed this practice. I tried to have it include a little bit of everything. But as I said, if there is a pose that you missed tonight that you would like to see in next week's practice, drop it into the comment section and I'll try to include it. Next Monday, live stream will be at 7:30 again. If you would like to donate for this class, I would just appreciate it. It just makes me feel happy. If you want to donate $50, great, but I will not be insulted by 5 or 2. If that's something that you feel called to do, the way to do that is in the description for this video. Otherwise, join me at any rate, in any case. And I'm going to end from here, but then I will lead you into Shavasana because I do encourage you to take a Shavasana practice at the end of this practice here. So I'm going to do this here, palms together in front of the heart. Let's just take a sec to breathe. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you wherever you are. Thank you so very much for joining me and sharing practice. Namaste. All right. So at this point, I encourage you to uncross your legs and find a way to roll down onto your back. If it would feel good to bring your knees into your chest and hug them in, maybe roll them around in a circle one direction and then the other to massage your low back, take a moment to do that. It also might feel nice to take a little happy baby or a supine twist. Just give yourself permission to do anything that would feel good to help complete your practice and make you ready to just let go. And then, of course, when you're ready to just let it all go, lengthen out your legs. Maybe lift your chest a little to tuck the shoulder blades underneath your upper back so that the arms can come out slightly away from the side with the palms up and your chest feels broad and open. Close your eyes. Relax your breath. You can let go of the ujjayi at this point, and then give up the weight of your body to the mat, to the floor, to the earth. Just let go and enjoy another couple of minutes of stillness. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye and namaste.